Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. So the first card you have for today, Taurus, is the Nine of Cups. But it's in the reverse for you. Cups is water energy. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio are the water elements. Now, Nine of Cups is like, it's the wish-granted card. But if you see over here, with the reversed, I feel that this is not about external desires. It's about inner happiness. It's not about, anything flashy. It's about what really brings you joy in your emotional world on the inside. So, and also with Chiron in the, the Taurus, the house of Taurus, wherever that is for you, Chiron has the energy of, the healing energy, around some distorted ideas of your relationship to money, finances, your self-worth, and things like that. So Chiron energy is out here to recalibrate your thinking, to recalibrate your, your idea of what your self-worth is, without asking, are you asking for like external validation to know and prove to yourself that you are worth something, that you have a high self-worth? So these are the themes that will be playing out for you, Taurus. I also feel that this is about, just being who you are, authentically you. Saying things that you want to say, doing things that you want to do in the way that you want to do it, not for any external validations, but just because you want to do it, it makes you happy. So I feel that the Nine of Cups energy is, it's a wish and that will come true for you. I mean, the energy is already there. It's not that you're, it's bothering you or something. The only thing is that whatever you wish for, only wish for things that really bring you internal happiness. It's like, I heard a lot of people say that they set these goals, we'll be happy after we get this and we achieve that performance or that security, bank security or financial security, or we have, a house with so many rooms and such a view, and all of those goals that people define for themselves. And once they work so hard to achieve those goals, it doesn't feel anything. It doesn't feel right. They don't feel happy. And, so these are the themes that are going to play out for you. Like, don't set any goals. Just live in the moment, because that's where your true happiness is. And I feel that these ideologies are going to shift for you. That, your perception of what, what happiness looks like. Sometimes in today's fast-paced world, and, especially we're all socially connected through social media apps, a lot of influence kind of, pushes us to setting up some hard goals for ourselves. Like, oh, I should look a certain type of way, so that, we get in a comparative mode. But I feel that this, the Nine of Cups in the reverse is saying, just be very deliberate with your wishes. Like, it's your soul, whatever it makes you happy, not 100,000 badge, or not 100,000 pair of shoes, or not 100,000, we've got, I would say, items, or, things at home. No, does that make you happy? Or, are you just, spending and buying things just because you think that it will give you happiness? And for the most part, I've heard this from a lot of people, that they go out, on an impulse, they binge shop, but then at the end of it, it just stresses them out. Like, what are they going to do with so much stuff? Where are they going to put it? And things like that. So I feel that you should just go within, identify what are the things that will really make you happy in the moment. Like this, for some people, they like to cook. For some, they like to sing. For some, they like to work out or play sports or, watch movies, whatever that is for you. Those are the true things, happiness in the day-to-day mundane, without setting yourself a goal that I'm going to be happy at this age or with that and all of that. Those are not the goals that are going to make you happy. So just live by whatever you have today and enjoy life fully immersed in the moment. Then you'll be able to shift the energy of thus reverse card in the upright. Also, I've seen that, that people are kind of realizing, what kind of lives they want to live. Like, do they have to be productive, like morning to night and night to morning, or do they want to keep it slow paced and easy? And, what's your style? If for some, you like the hustle, you like working from morning 5 to, midnight 12. And some, you like to keep it a little slow. So adjust your lifestyles according to your piece that really works for you instead of comparing anybody else's lifestyle. So these are some shifts that you probably will need to look at and make, or you will be doing that in the next few days. So for some of you, this can also be about your relationship to money and finances. Like what is enough? What for you is enough? Like enough money, or enough to, enjoy the things that really matter to you. And I feel that this energy is also about, creating that fun, that fun and putting it in the, your financial portfolio or your funds that will make you feel secure. If something's coming up to the surface in regards to money and things like that, so you can redo those, review your financial plans and where you spend and budget and invest, and all of those financial aspects can be reworked in case you're feeling a little out of whack because of your, of the spending, or because of your other investments that may not have paid up so, or not have grown so much. So some of the things are under review in terms of your finances. Now, for others of you, this 9 of Cups can also be in regards to, what do you think? Like, sometimes we feel that, oh, we need to go work out because you want to have like a toned body or something. So if that's your thing, nothing wrong with that kind of goal. Go for it. Invest into your exercise, workout, gym, whatever it takes to accomplish your goal. But don't keep the attainment of the goal as a measure of your happiness. Well, that's the thing. Those are the your recalibrations that the 9 of Cups in the reverse is going to encourage you to make. So the next card you have, Taurus, is the Birch, the Achiever. And it's number 1. There are birch trees behind, and this person, he is pulling out a sword, right? So he's in this, it's a winter time, and wearing boots and birch trees. So this person is, removing the sword. So there is a, when it comes to sword, there is clarity. There is like, a power with the sword, right? A power of words, power of understanding. There is clarity. And the fact that this person is pulling out the sword from the cover, which means that he's going to do something. I don't know, cut the trees. Yeah, almost maybe that's what he's trying to do. But some work needs to be done. Now, we don't know what he's going to do because he's facing this side. The trees are facing that side. It could be that he wants to cut the trees, but we don't know what exactly he's going to do. But he's ready for the task. He's ready for it. He has the clarity. He is determined, and you is wanting to move forward. And also, number 1 is the number of new beginnings, new ideas, of newer ways of being, of beginner's energy, beginner's mind, that kind of a vibe. So even though the person doesn't really know where it's going to go, but this person is still determined, is the achiever. You will get the job done. So you're ready out here, Taurus, and, it's not easy to work with the sword. You need to know how to use it, which means that you already have the skills to create, to do the work that you're wanting to do, you know. And Jupiter is entering into Leo, which is a sign of, which is of course a bold fire fixed sign. And it's also about getting, front and center, like center stage. So I feel that you are ready here, Taurus, so whatever you're doing, you very much have the tools. For some of you, this might be that you're just kind of not announcing any plans to people as yet, because there is only this one person out here. So you might be on your own, doing whatever you can with your skills. But I feel that there's not too many people, or maybe there's nobody. Maybe you're working on something all by yourself. And also the Saturn energy. Saturn is in Aries right now. And Aries is the first house of self. So there is discipline energy with the self, like the way you do your day by day mundane, the effort you put in, the routines you have, the structures you have built, in doing things. There needs to be a structure, there needs to be consistency. And all of those energies and things will play out, especially when Saturn is in the first house of Aries. First house is self. So I also feel that for some of you, you could be working with, sword energy is all about a word. So for some of you, this could be new beginnings in writing, in speaking, or designing processes. For some of you, you could be, achieving things in the domain of the sword, which is like the talking, analyzing, processing, creating functions, procedures, writing it out, documentation. For some of you, it's time for you to step up and achieve a lot in those areas, maybe writing books. Could be a culinary arts as well. That's sword energy, with the knife serve as a sharp object. Right? For some of you, could be working with sharper objects, or just having so much information that you are ready to, do the thing that you have in mind. The Nine of Cups in the reverse, it's like because, the happiness is there. And you need to take those right steps to create the situations and conditions that truly make you happy from the soul level, right? So that the Nine of Cups in the reverse is turned in the upright. So you are moving forward, doing the work that will turn the Nine of Cups in the upright. Whether it's in regard to finances, making those deposits, changing up your financial portfolio, or investing into land and assets that will bring you returns and rewards for your due diligence and research. For some of you, this could be starting off newer adventures or newer projects or new companies, because it's an achiever. So you could be working on an idea. Swords are also ideas, big ideas. So some of you might be starting, newer projects, or a startup culture is there today, setting up companies, or your own career economy could be a part of it. And you are ready to make things happen, to talk to people, to make the right connections. You have a plan. You have, you have a plan. You have the confidence, and you trust yourself, and you're ready to align your actions with your ideas of what you want to create for yourself. So some of you might be, I feel that you're already ready with the skills, but upskilling is also something that you could be doing. So this is a energy of, taking the first steps. You're ready for it. You've been planning, you've been contemplating whatever that was, or stagnating. Now you're ready to make the first move to make things happen for you. And the last card for today, Taurus, you have is a message from the universe, and it says gratitude. Further, it says, I love acknowledging all the little things I am grateful for. No matter what I have going on, I always have things to be thankful for. Whenever I'm feeling upset, I can fill up a page with the things I appreciate. This begins to shift my mood and focus onto that which brings me joy. So absolutely, Taurus, even though the Nine of Cups is in the reverse for you, there is so much to be grateful for. And I feel that's exactly what the energy of the Nine of Cups is. When we go within, we already know that to be happy, we don't need things to be flashy on the outside. We just need to have that inner peace, satisfaction, and, be thankful and grateful for everything that we have and how far we have come. So Taurus, those were your messages, and hope they resonated with you. So the first card for today, Virgo, you have is the Emperor. But this is in the reverse for you. Emperor is a major arcana. It is synonymous to the Aries energy, of authority. Here it is reversed. So I feel, in this case, especially in the images that are over here, this is like releasing those, authoritative and those strict, rigid, authoritative energy. When you feel that, especially with the Emperor, in the upright feels that they need to control everything, they need to watch, micromanage things. I feel that is what is being shifted here for you, Virgos. Like the older structures that you built on what authority should be like, that is undergoing some kind of a shift and change where in today's modern times, a more softer energy is being welcomed by people, in everywhere. Authorities that are more gentler, more kind, more wiser, more empathic, more EQ-driven, more emotionally aware. Those kind of authorities and leadership are being encouraged today. So I do feel that things are changing up for you. Virgo, maybe, a system you had created, a plan, whatever that is, you're just kind of auditing that. You're auditing your own things, I don't know if you're auditing your books, financial looks and things like that. And for some of you, it could be. But then you're just trying to go within and see, like, why am I so rigid, Does it have to be enforced like this? I think around enforcement and rules and all of that, that's taking a more gentler approach. So Emperor in the reverse, in some decks, it feels like more of a tyrant. But in this is the universe telling you to just take it easy. Just enjoy yourself while you're leading. Be more gentle with your leadership style. Instead of being very rigid with when should be done, how it should be done, by who it should be done. So those old structures, in the olden times, there were more controlling structures. Like, it has to be this way. That it has to be perfect. It has to be this, that, and the third. So now that's got to go. I feel you're kind of working around those. You're like, why? Why does it have to be so, one after the other and 1, 2, 3, and this, that, and the third, like organized and very much like, kind of your entirely planned out like a king or a queen. Now, it doesn't have to work that way. We can take a more slow-paced, more easygoing approach to things and still get everything done and still not be too hard on ourselves and other people, because it takes a lot of energy to be that authoritative. So this is not like, this is not a tyrant energy. This is just that, sometimes the Emperor in the reverse, what they do is like when they feel that things are out of their control or they feel powerless in situations, they start enforcing the rules more harder, and especially like in corporate, if you see like you have a project and it's falling behind schedule, then the manager comes and is like, they want accountability for every single second of every single day, what the person is doing, what the resource is doing and all that. And people start getting burnt out. They're like, what kind of a tyrant ruler is this, So I feel that you're moving away from that. You're becoming more flexible, not controlling. That's what the energy here is, The energy here is encouraging you to be more flexible, rather than more controlling. So, and also that kind of leadership, the softer leadership, it definitely it shows better results. People are more happier with those kind of leaders that are more generous, that are more softer rather than too much controlling. So I feel that either you're taking some courses to soften your leadership or learn or get yourself updated with the latest leadership styles. Maybe you're joining school and colleges that are redesigning or the makeover of your patterns or the way that your tarot authority was supposed to be. Now, also, I feel that the Emperor, it's like structure. It's a mastery, right? Emperor is a master of creating structures. I feel that this is also like you realizing that you can only control yourself, not other people. It's like we can only master ourselves. We can only work hard on ourselves. You cannot control other people. That's not how the universe works. So I feel like for some of you, you could be heading into a mastery of self or self-discipline, a kind of also a spiritual upgrade. Ember is a spiritual upgrade when it applies to your inner world and your own self. This could be that you are doing the assessment of what authority is like for you. For some of you, this could be your environment, It's like the company work. Is it too strict? Is it too much structure? They don't let you breathe. Or is this a lifestyle or routine that you have created for yourself that feels like a cage, too stuck, too rigid? Or is it the people that are around you, like too stuck, too controlling? I feel that all of that has to go. Or all of that is being transformed, you're encouraged to transform that. Where, it's not about breaking structures or the structure falling off. It's like, yeah, you like to be orderly, sure. But then, it doesn't have to be like, A to Z, morning to night, like a set pattern, just relax yourselves. Let the routine relax. Let it be chaotic sometimes. Let it be topsy-turvy sometimes. And that's life. That's human. And I feel that after the shift in the style of how you carry yourself out without being too intrusive, without being too, zero tolerance for any kind of, zero tolerance for any kind of deviation from your rigid ideas about how work should be done. When you release that, you feel that people are more warmer. They're able to open up to you, When you're more flexible with how things can be done, they will want to talk to you. They want to more collaborate with you. So it's like, it's not the emperor or the person is falling off the throne. It's that you need to turn into the leader that people will respect and love, So I feel that you're realizing that. Now, emperor energy is also about, emperor is a father figure, some kind of a father figure, an authority in the personal life, in your relations. If this is somebody who is very controlling, I feel that they might be undergoing some kind of a shift in the way they, treat people, or like, I've heard a lot of people where, too much control in the family really destroys, the relationships. It destroys the people, It's not easy to deal with emperor energy at home at a personal level. It's like always somebody's controlling your moves, watching over you, micromanaging you, your time, and how it should be done and what you should do and all of that. It's exhausting to deal with those kind of people. So if you have them around, I feel that you might be seeing a certain shift in their behavior as well. Now, this is also, I feel, playing out at a global level, It's like the authorities, the companies, the structures, especially after the COVID times, after the pandemic, people are forced to being returned to sitting in the office space, being physically present there. And I feel a lot of people, they actually retaliated because they don't want to be present there. They're like, why do you care if you're physically present, Our work should speak for our credibility. So the kind of authority that requires the employees to be stuck in the office, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, is kind of a little bit being more flexible. Employers are now being more flexible that, okay, as long as you're doing the work, you're okay. For some presence is definitely needed. So a hybrid model came through, right? Because the authority, which is the companies, wanted the employees there Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. But then the employees are like, no, it's not going to work. It has to be something different. So a hybrid monarchy where, it was a milligram. The employees are happy now. They can be at home. They can be flexible with where they work, the space they work. Because, a lot of people, they work from distance. So it's hard for them to be present. So when the company and structure release that hold over the employees, it makes the employees more loyal and more devoted to the company and more appreciative of the company. So the underlying energy of this is releasing the control. You cannot control anything, the outcomes and all of that. And I feel that this is a realization, or this is an encouragement, that just free yourself of all of that control. How do you control the process, the outcome, people, No, we don't have control over anything. Just be more flexible. So I do feel that the next card for today, Virgo, you have is the number 6. And it says seahorse. This is such a cute image, of a girl holding this cute little seahorse. Yeah, really cute image, the seahorse just looking at her directly, not being defensive, not attacking the girl. Seahorses are also a little bit of a mythological creatures, like very calm. Nobody's afraid of seahorses, they're very peaceful. Gentleness. I feel that with the Emperor in the reverse, you had Virgos. This is just an extension of that, water energy, feminine energy, and this cute little seahorse that is telling you to, just relax, be easy. Be gentle. More feminine receptive principle needs to be incorporated, You don't always have to be in defense, or be very analytical, because Virgo's ruled by memory, Virgo's ruled by Mercury, a very analytical planet. It's all about perfectionism and procedures and all of that. And I feel that, this energy, number 6 especially, is related to peace, harmony, beauty. It's the energy of planet Venus, which is about harmony in relationships, creativity, creating things that make you feel lighter, joyful, playful, connecting to your lighter spirit. And then you have this energy of seahorse, which is just like, a cradling energy, right? Gentler energy, more in tune with the emotions. Like Virgo is more intellectual, cerebral. Here, you're incorporating more of watery energy, more emotions, more EQ, more empathic, highly intuitive. Those energies need to be integrated within the cerebral Virgo archetype. And with the current planetary shifts and the new moon, which is happening in Cancer, next month. Cancer is the 4th house of family, relations, and all of that. So new moon is new ways of being. Something new is birthing, something new ways of doing. New intentions can be set in using the Cancerian energy of depth, emotions. So there is a newness which is going to be there next month. So I do feel that, older ways of being, like the Emperor in the reverse, is definitely under audition for you, Virgos. And those are being washed away because it's not working for you anymore, or it won't work for you anymore. Because you're the feminine energy, feminine strength of being warm and gentle, of coming from heart space, of more authentic expression and things like that. Is going to be the new style for that Emperor. It's not everything can be cerebral. There is a not everything can be coming from the head space. The heart space needs to be integrated with the seahorse energy. Now, for some of you, the ecosystem, marine life, the water economy, and something like that could be of relevance to you. You could be working on between preservations or more ecosystems, marine ecosystems, or you could have seen a seahorse or some things related to seahorse in the past, or you're going to see it in the future. For some of you, it could be that as well. But seahorse is a very mythical or mythological, very intuitive energy, right? You could be also building on some craft or learning things about how you sharpen your intuition, or get more into the astrology, astronomy, herbalism, all those kind of meditation, yoga, breathwork, you could be invested into that. That's also a feminine principle because that helps with the healing and flexibility and EQ and all of that. So for some of you, you could be invested into that as well. Or just visiting the water, by maybe some of you are interested in water sports or visiting water places or invested in properties by the water, or you're in increased interest in marine ecosystems. But in general, this is like a cool, calm, slow-paced energy versus just go, 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 right? Because it burns you out, and practical things are always at the forefront for Virgo energy, the earth sun that's ruled by Mercury, right? So a lot of thought processes, and you apply that all ideas into the practical world, creating money, doing your chores, being organized, being methodical. Here, it's like calm down, relax, take a breath, find peace in the small things, in the slow-paced life. I feel things are also slowing down, or you might be slowing down, downsizing, clearing up your routine to enjoy the moments by yourself, or a slow-paced living could also be on your mind. And also currently the nodal axis, which is the north node and south node. South node is specifically giving the sign of Virgo, and Virgo archetypal energy is all about service, 6,000 energy of being perfect. That's what Virgos are known for. And then the seahorse is such a beautiful energy, which is releasing you from that, It's seahorse is light. It floats around. So releasing all of those heavy things about everything being perfect and how. And the last card you have, Virgo, is a message from Cosmos, and it says, nurture. Further, it says, it's okay to want to stay home and be alone. I deserve days to myself, days to relax and simply be. I honor how I feel and take this day to do the things that feel nurturing to me. Absolutely, Virgo. It's like with the Emperor in the reverse energy, right? There's a lot of restructuring that you're doing. And then with the seahorse energy, there is a softer side. That's all about nurturing, self-care, feminine principle. It's about relaxing, relaxing the rules, relaxing yourself, and just doing everything that doesn't take away from you, doesn't take away that energy from you. The Emperor in the upright is a very structured, rigid energy. So when you release yourself from that pressure, your body relaxes and it automatically gets into a nurturing and a more softer mode. So nurturing also means like you, not only stay by yourself, but just relax yourself, watch a movie, just read a book, just cook your meals, relax yourself, slow-paced, and very reflective and contemplation as well. So where goes those for your messages, and hope they resonated with you. Now moving on to the sign of the Capricorn. First card you have, Capricorn, is justice. And this is a very beautiful energy. There is green. Look at the two pillars behind. It's all, covered in green vines. There is positivity. There is growth. So there is this person standing out here, blindfolded, of course, with the, blindfolded, but not in a negative way, This person is wearing that tie on her eye because she doesn't want to look at the superficial things. She's weighing it with her own inner wisdom, her emotions, what she feels is right in her heart and soul. And she has the skills to balance things out, and a sword in one hand pointing upwards, which means very divinely connected to higher purpose, higher self, higher values, morals, ethics, what's right, what's wrong, having those clear lines, that don't blur the wrongdoings, to correct things. This is also a good time to correct the things. So you might be looking at contracts, you might be looking at things that could have gone wrong, whether on your side or whether you did it to somebody or somebody did it to you. You're kind of revising things, revisiting things, and trying to correct those. You're ruled by, Capricorn energy is ruled by Saturn, which is a karmic planet, of structure, of authenticity, of accountability, of time, of consequences as well. Consequences in the sense as you sow, so shall you reap kind of an energy, right? So things that are built with structure, with honesty, with positive intentions will do better than and will get more positive outcomes rather than things that are just, cut short or done by unethical means and shortcuts and wrong intentions. Those are the ones that are not going to be of any benefit to you. They are the ones that might be cut short. They are the ones that are not going to bear any fruit. So I feel that this is a good time, especially when the justice energy is available to you, to be very honest with yourself. If there was something wrong, if there's something pressing, those things will come to the surface, those ideas, those thoughts, those situations that were rough, that were unfair, that were, that were wronged. All of those will come to the surface for you to resolve it. If you feel that you were wronged and things are not right. Like, for example, you're working in a place that is not being adequate for your skills. You're like, okay, you know what? This company, I've spoken to everybody. Nobody wants to give me a raise or promotion. I'm going to leave this because they trust my skills. And you go elsewhere, and they give you the reason, the compensation that you truly deserve. That's the right justice, because your inner core knows what you're capable of, And justice doesn't have to be like the same company gives you justice. Justice is like, the universe balancing out the scales. So you realize you're worth more. You went to a new company and the universe supported you and compensated you for your skills. So that's the kind of justice over here. Now, I also feel that this is also an energy of creating solid structures, so things that are, built on false foundations and false grounds. I think those need some kind of correction, and you would know what it is, so you'll need to revisit those documents, those contracts or deals or something, of the past, and make sure that it's coming from a place of high honesty and high integrity, and that it's every deal, every task, assignments, money, dealings, all those practices are coming from a place that is fair for all. Now, also, I feel that, Saturn is your ruling planet, but also rules your neighboring house of Aquarius. And the thing about Aquarius energy is that it's hosting Pluto in retrograde right now. So Pluto is always going to break down structures. So you might see some kind of authority structures or team structures falling apart, or just getting reorganized and restructured. Authority getting reorganized and restructured is also going to be a theme for you, Capricorn. Now, for those of you that are in leadership positions, I feel this is also going to restructure your leadership, how you lead. Like I've been constantly seeing that in today's times, softer, wiser leadership is being valued over hardcore, rigid leadership of the past. So I think that also is going to be a theme for you, where you align yourself with modern, generous, and a more empathic and softer ways of leading, So those people that are ready to do the work will be rewarded, and those that are not ready to do the work are somehow going to, see some shifts around that. So and the thing about those tight rules and procedures is that, they are right. Technically everything, it has to be a certain type of way. But then the softer leadership is asking you to look at it from a softer perspective, bring in your heart and your mind to the situation, rather than being really cold and, cold and distant from situations, and being rude and harsh about judgments and things like that. Come from a more softer space. So that is also going to be something that you will need to work with, those energies, And also, like what you see, it's like, from leadership positions, what happens is like, or even it could be at your personal space also, like you say something and you do something contrary to that. Those things are also going to be at the forefront. So people are going to come at you. If you say something or you preach something and you practice something opposite, that will be brought to your attention. And, justice, when I read so many articles about this, when they say that fair process is a very common theme, right, in today's times. Like, everybody wants a fair process. If the process is fair and the outcome is not so great or in line with their expectations, people still absorb that failure, versus if the practice was unfair. that is something that people, then humans, are just not ready to accept. So I feel that there will be restructuring around that, even companies, law systems, and all of those are also undergoing some kind of accountability and transparency and, procedural changes in regards to, being absolutely fair and just and being transparent. So for some of you, you could be actually part of the justice system, working on some causes or justice for people and fairness acts and things like that, because that's the legacy we'll leave for the next generation. So these themes are going to be at the forefront for you, Capricorn. Whether it's in your personal life, resolving disputes or any kind of difficult situations in your personal life. It could be in regards to property, homes, disagreements, inheritance, tensions, whatever that is. This is an energy of window of opportunity available for you to resolve those situations should you choose to. Because outcomes will be favorable if you choose to resolve it. Also, I feel that this is like, if you've been cutthroat or poor in some regards, I feel that this is encouraging you to be a bit more empathetic and compassionate, with your dealings, with your, with your words or with your we's and things like that. So more gentler approach might be needed. The next one you might be working with that already. Ivy, the survivor. I also feel that green ivies, Capricorn energy is going to be more open to receiving honest feedback. Like, if they survive, there are a lot of companies today that take, read them the weather conditions, and they still appear to look like, plush, and they add so much beauty, wherever they're planted. So, and number 11 here is a master number. There's a mastery out here, I feel, Capricorn. You have been through the fire. With the justice out there, I feel that justice is not an easy energy to navigate. It's like changing the systems, going through so much change. There's butterflies at the end of it. It's like you've been through something, survived it, and endured it, become more resilient. Whatever hardships you have encountered, it changed you as a person, changed your habits, changed your outlook or your perception on things. And whatever you learned in the whole process of navigating the changes, whether in your personal life or professional life, this has made you so much more wiser. It has made you a master of some sort. I feel that you are capable now of stepping into leadership positions of leading companies, leading teams, leading groups, organizations, whatever that is, because of your wisdom. You have been through the fire, and fire forges, it makes them precious, metals precious, it hardens the metal so much, all done through that fire. So you have been made into a precious person, with like a diamond. I'm getting like, you're shining out there. You have endured so much. And yes, it has been hard, but the person that you have become today, the version, the growth that you have experienced, is now being, not you're ready to step into the spotlight, or people are seeing you for what you are. It's time for you to step into that spotlight. And I feel that everything that you have learned, you have grown so much on the physical plane, in terms of your skills, in terms of your growth, whatever that is for you, spiritual growth. You've learned so much, you've survived so much. I feel that some of you have been through so much that you can write a biography or a document and share it with people on how we survive such difficult circumstances and changes and disruptions and chaos around you. And I feel that whatever you have created, like the hard muscle that you have created, the resilient muscle, it has helped you to transform systems around you, transform systems in your day-to-day, create new supported systems that just dismantle the old ones that have been hard to keep up with, or that have been holding you back, that have given you a hard time. You're letting all of that go. You're creating new systems, new structures that support your growth, that support other people's growth. So it's the next day. It's like a new chapter for you, because you have, done that climb, especially for Capricorn. You're like volcanic mountains. That's the theme for Capricorn, right? So you've climbed that mountain. You've done it. And once you climb that mountain, the fears are gone. It's a challenge to climb a mountain. You know all the things, details on how to survive the harshest of conditions and how to equip yourself at every level to overcome the challenges. So now I feel that the habits, and also, I feel like adaptability is something that comes through when we face such hardships. Like we adapt in ways that we never thought we would. And I feel that you have adapted. And now that the worst is over, this person's like just survived it. The survivor, it's done. All the worst, butterflies out here means the situation has transformed. So now that the situation is transformed and you have the justice, that's also the harsh energy, right? So dealing with things, improvising, changing things up, standing up for yourself and all of that, it's done. If this person is a little bit tired, it's time for you to rest. Capricorn, don't just look for the next mountain to climb. Just rest up because, number 11 is like, so much. It's like the Buddha energy. You have so much insight, so much depth, so much things have been illuminated to you. You have overcome so much, such difficult situations, that have told you what you never knew you were capable of surviving that. Now you have discovered your own inner talents and, your extraordinary capabilities that you never knew you had. So a huge, big comeback in a big, big way after restructuring, rebundling things must have collapsed in the past. It's the difficult terrain to navigate, It's rocky, this person standing on a rock, a little elevation and seeing how far he has come. The mountains are behind him, too far. Mountains are too far, he's looking at it. He's like, from where I am right now, the mountains look small, but when I was climbing that mountain was like, about life and death, it was like so hard to survive, whether it's a challenge at your workplace or just personal situations or health situations, whatever that is, it put a lot of pressure on you. It changed you, it turned you into the diamond, but the process is not easy. You are so strong right now, and I feel you've recognized that, how strong you are, and I feel that you're ready to guide people, to become the mentor, to advise them like how to make it to the other side of it. You could actually do that. For some of you might be doing that. And this is like, a person, I feel like so much, and it just speaks, it transforms us, that kind of hardship just transforms us from the core of our being. And, once we've been there, once we've accommodated, we made the changes, we've restructured our life, our habits, whatever that is, systems, even. And the last card for today, Capricorn, you have is a message from the universe, and it says self-appreciation. Further, it says, I will find the moments throughout the day that I can dedicate to myself. Find a comfortable space and bring a pen and paper. I will write a letter of appreciation to myself where I will pour love into who I am and all that I do. Absolutely. You've been through it, Capricorn, and how far you've come. It's, pat yourself on the back, shower yourself with all the love. And of course, this is a moment of recognition and self-appreciation. So great messages here, Capricorn, and hope they resonated with you. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.